In this session, I'm very much honored to be the first speaker. I think this hospital community is, it shows the hospital community how they are showing the importance about the food and how it is going to supplement in the treatment. Okay, so coming to the FSSI, FSSI basically stands for Food Safety Standards Authority of India. It's a regulatory body which has been initiated in 2006, August 23rd, enacted by the Parliament, and it comes under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So before to this FSSI inception, we used to follow mostly the FDA, means the foreign, means the Federal American Food Instructions and Food Authorities here. So of course, after the independence, there are so many committees have been formed and it has been initiated, but finally in 2006 it has been enacted. So in the inception time, FSSI could able to onboard a 16 scientific panel because in the Indian subcontinent we have a variety disciplines of food across India which are available, though it is a tribal, urban and non-urban, semi-urbans and the rural. So all the recipes, if you travel a 2 to 3 kilometers or within the 20 kilometers itself, you will find many variety of food recipes and food disciplines. To congregate all these into a systematic approach, of course, the FSSA took almost 6 years, means in 2011, they could able to come out with a protocol system. Okay, so which can regulate the Indian food entire spectrum of the variety of food into one regulatory body, that is FSSAI. Please move to the next one. Okay, so FSSAI consists of so many bodies. It is a congregation of uh, the network societies like nutrition societies and fortified foods. And recently they started the FASTAC as a training entity where the the food handlers can be trained and they can be certified in the food domain. So Eat Right campaign is one initiative which has been initiated recently to spread the awareness across all the citizens of India to know what should be eat, means what they can eat as right. So in the food regulation body in the constitution, basically in our constitution, this the food regulation comes under the concurrent list. Means few of the things can be regulated by the state government and most of other can be regulated by the FSSAI. That is where when we get any registration or any kind of a license from government of India or else from the local government, the both will have the logos of state as well as the central. That is FSSAI. Means in the concurrent list, both the state government and central government has a right to regulate the Indian food system. Okay, so basically coming to the FSSAI, as I told you, it is a congregation of so many bodies which can regulate the organic food, eat right initiation, and the Bhog. Bhog is an initiation which is recently launched by the FSSAI, where in the pilgrimage centers like in temples, churches, and in all dargahs, in nearby places, what all the eateries are there. So they will be regulated properly and they will be educated on the hygienic safety precautions and practices at the blissful locations. So Bhog is one initiation and the fortified certifications, then the net profanes, Indian Chef Organization. These are all the congregations which comes under the FSSAI regulation as a advisory bodies. Please move to the next. So, in this session, we will focus more on the food safety in hospitals. Please, please move on. Yeah. So, hospital is a healthcare section where the sick people, means the patients, can be treated. So here, basically, the foodborne diseases will spread across the poor humanity bodies, like the patients, pregnant women, elderly people, and infants. So these people will be cared in hospitals for their illness or for the better treatment of the existing system. So mostly the treatment, what they are treating, advising, and under the prescription of the practitioners, medication has to be supplemented by the food. So if food itself carries some contamination, and the treatment cannot be developed or improved properly. So this is where the food importance comes into the hospital administration. So food safety hygiene is more a focused area where it can enrich this treatment. So that is the food technologist and FSSI feels it is more precisely to be focused, because in the hospital environment, the patient's vulnerability will be a very severe. If one ward to other ward, the patient is transferred, then he carries a lot of germs and other stuff. So if with that patient or within the campus, if the food is also contributing something ill or extra to the human bodies, then that cannot be rescued properly. So this is where the food safety in hospitals are more important. Please move on.
So shall I move,
So
sir?
here, yeah. So here, I just wanted to focus the attention of the audience about the risk factors. Okay, so these risks can spoil our food safety system and hazardous. So basically, in the researchers, so this is holistic a world research thing which I wanted to put across to you. The temperature contributes 40% of the contamination of the food. Means what? So the 40% will be the any food will be spoiled on the ratio of 40% on the temperature, improper temperature. For example, wherever it has to be freeze, if we are not freezing it, wherever it is advised below 5%, below 5%, 5 temperature, if it is not taken care, or which can be in the room temperature, if it is not taken care. So these examples, these are the incidents which contribute 40% of the food spoilage which is happening in the world. Okay, and the contaminated equipments or the containers or the vessels or the boxes which is being preserved and prepared in the containers, or if it is not, if they are not cleaned properly, if they are not managed properly, their contribution is 18.9, approximately 20%. And the persons who involved in the preparation and the handling of the food are contributing 18% approximately. And chemical contaminations, it is 13%. So these are the major risk factors which are contributing the spoilage of a food. Please move on. So the basic challenges which can tamper the safety of a food in hospitals. So basic contamination will happen in the food. Within the food, means contamination itself. No, it's a very any foreign body which is not allowed into the food. We call it as a contamination. So the contamination will happen within, that is self, and cross contamination. So any agent which can be which can be a catalyst to improve the food spoilizations when it comes to the hospitals. So hospitals are the healthcare segment where the treatment can be happen with the microorganism extracted installations, medications, treatment, and to supplement all these things, there will be some equipments, machinery, all will be there. So if the infrastructure, the hospital infrastructure itself is not in the CIP model, that is cleaning in process model, that can also contribute as food spoilizations. Please move to the next slide. So these are some outbreaks that happened. Please go on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are all examples which are happened across the country and across the world. Please move on. Please. Okay. So FSSAI initiated a SNF portal. That is, it is a citizen charter where you can get, you can download all the material which is being prepared by the FSSAI officials and the scientific panel member to download the nutritional and safe nutritional practices which are advisable in all the ecosystem of Indian hospitals. So this site snfportal.in is is precisely mentioned and constructed to download the books. So we have pink, orange, green. So there are 13 variety of books which are available from a 5-year-old boy to a 80-year-old citizen can download according to their age and prescribed areas. Please move on. So these books will educate you what is cross contamination, how we can eliminate, and what is the self contamination, and how the environment contributes the spoilage of a food. Yeah. So coming to the food safety, and so the major factors of food safety are hazards. So these impacts the food safety. So basically these hazards are four types. One is physical, second is chemical, third is biological, and allergens. Please move on. So these are few examples about the physical hazard. So physical hazards are which are tangible, so which can be seen with our eyes without wearing any any other magnified glasses. Please go to the next one. So chemical are basically can be transmitted through the vessels, boxes, or the containers which are using for the food preparation and for the preservations at the serving locations. So these can be a supplements. And here basically the pest control system, if it is not cleaning in process, so these chemical hazards can pollute the food spoilizations. Please go to the next one. So biological, I think no, the participants are mostly from the hospital and hospital allied services. I don't think I have to explain more about this. So I'm just skipping it. Please go to the next. And this one, hazardous also. Please go to the next thing. Okay. So this is a simple formula which I wanted to give as an anthem to preserve, to ensure the food safety. Okay, so we must know the formula called FAT-TOM, that is FATTOM. So food means we must know what is the food, what is the right food we need to take, and how it has to be prepared, and what are the main ingredients, and what is the nutritional positions, and what is the calories which we are going to consume. So these awareness has to be given to the any citizen or any patient know who are there in the rescue positions. Then we need to know about acidity. So the food itself is a microorganism combination, and there the pH level has to be in a position to measurable, and that pH should be known to the every consumer. Then the temperature, as I told you, the temperature is the cause for almost 40% of the food spoilages in the world. The advisable temperature has to be maintained according to the food styles and food recipes. Then the time. So usually in old system, in the ancient practices, we used to get a food, as and when it is cooked, means hot, in hot position that should be served. But no, because of the lifestyles and the development, no, we are in a position to control the temperatures. So that is where the time is also very important. Means as a traditional and old school thought of food technologist, I can suggest within 4 hours of the cooked food has to be served. then the oxygen levels and moistures. Please move on. So this formula, like no FATTOM, has to be remembered. And whenever you are consuming any food, or when you are handling any food, or when you are preparing any food, has to be taken care. This is a simple and thumb rule formula. So in any enterprise or everywhere, anywhere where the food is being served, so there we must ensure the FSMS formula, means that is food safety management system. So this food safety management system ensures good manufacturing practices where it is being manufactured, and it is going to be in the laboratory. GLPs has to be implemented, and good hygienic practices has to be implemented. All this has to be again given with a system called HACCP, that is hazard analysis and critical control points. Means we must know what is the basic hazard which can impact the spoilage, food hygienic, and food safety. So that has to be critically analyzed, and it should be controlled on a measurable point. So that is HACCP. Yeah, please move on. So in the schedule of 4 of FSSAI Constitution, this food safety is being introduced and discussed the safety precautions as 13 parts. So in the constitution of FSSAI, there are 4 schedules. The first schedule explains about the constitution of the food in the India. Second schedule explains about the administration structure of FSSAI. Third section, third schedule explains about the issuing of licenses, registration kind of stuff and all. Then the fourth schedule talks about the hygienic practices and FSMS system. So in the schedule 4, there are 13 parts, which is again explains and discuss about the hygienic part. Please go on. Please. Yeah. Please move on. There are 5 parts. Yes. So coming to the regulation, the general hygienic and sanitary practices. So in the holistic system of food preparation, the scientific panel of FSSAI could able to comprise in 5 parts. Part 1 discuss about the street vendor and their practices with all petty vendor operators, petty food operators. Then the part 2 explains about all the food and the beverages operators, like from a tiffin center to a 5-star hotel. Then the part 3 explains about milk and milk products and allergens. Part 4 explains about meat and meat products, that is large meal and short meals. Part 5 explains about the food services at establishments. So these are all the very brief information. I'm just focusing you to enlighten, so that when you are going to any entity like any enterprise, you can ask the vendor about these rules and regulations. If you have some idea about it, then you will be ensure what you are eating and how you are eating at the restaurants or at any place where it is being served. Please move on. So the schedule 4 explains about, as I told you, the GMP, that is good manufacturing practices, personal hygienic, storage, and transportation and retail, special requirement at the risk places of the food. So please move on. So I think I have been allotted for a 15 minutes, but I think I am taking some of you. I am killing your time. Is that so?
Sir, okay, sir, you can carry on, sir.
Okay. So coming to the FSMS system, so we adopt usually PDCA based approach. So that is plan, do, check, and act. Okay, so we have to plan, then do accordingly, then check whether it is in place or not, then move on for action. So this is the way we have to ensure our food safety and hygienic practices there in the food served arena. Please move on. So this is basic difference in between the HACCP, VACCP, and TACCP. Okay, so HACCP gives the information about hazards. Okay, and the VACCP gives the complete information and controlling points about the vulnerabilities. Then TACCP, it's completely a threat management. Yeah, this is just an awareness. No, it is again a huge subject. Please move on, please. Yeah, yes. So coming to the food fraud, what is food fraud? So intentionally, if you are spoiling the food, if you are dominating, if you are polluting the food, that is food fraud. So here in the act, in the schedule for part 13, if any food vendor is spoiling for the benefit of economy, so that we call it as a food fraud. So the food fraud can be by a substitution of the additives and additions, tampering, misrepresentation of food. See, the conventional and natural food, how it is being prepared and served, if it is tampered, if it is substituted, if it is additioned with some other thing, and label is not in proper, packing is not in order. So these are all, if it is contributing a economic gain to any food vendor, is called food fraud. This can be sued in the court of law. Any malpractices intentionally, if someone is doing, so that is food defense. Please move on. So these are a few FSMS principles. I just would like to light on this. So the customer focus, like how you are more focused and enlighten your patient while you are while you are giving a treatment. It is any entrepreneur or any enterprise duty to make the customer aware about what are the ingredients are being is being used for the preparation of that particular food, and how much nutritional positions, then what are the calories it is coming. So now in the 2022 amendment, FSSAI made every cafeteria which is been in-housed in a hospital or in any market has to be displayed with the ingredients, means the recipes information, nutritional positions, and the calories information. Then what is advisable allergens information. So these information, if it is not available in any of the eatery, yes, that can be challenged in the court of law. Please move on. Okay. So this is I would like to request your all attention at this slide, because it explains about a movement called Eat Right India. So Eat Right India is having again subsets like Eat Right campuses, Eat Right schools, Eat Right fortified, and Eat Right Bhog. Bhog is again, it's a temple and all the stuff. So the eating habits of India is being explained. Then what is right food, how it has to be taken, and how it has to be transmitted, how it has to be transported, how it has to be retailed. So these programs, like these are all initiatives and precautions are well versed available in the portal which I told you, that is snfportal.in. Okay, so in this there are so many abhiyans and so many movements are there. So Ayushman Bharat is one, then Poshan Abhiyan is one, then Bhog is one. So these are all things which are intentionally made to aware about the society, to bring and to aware the society and to bring the bring back the 80s eating habits, 1980, before 1980 eating habits to the new generation. So I request all you to go to the portal and download all the material which is there, and you can enlighten self as well to the patients, then to the citizens. Please move on. So these are the simple three things which are being, dealt by the FSSAI. One is safety, that is safe, healthy, and sustainability. So these things, the orange book which published in the portal can explain about the safety. The green book help you to ensure the healthy, and how to take up the good habits and table manners to the society explains in the orange book. So these are the three simple things which can be ensured and which can be downloaded from the SNF portal, and you all can educate yourself. Please, please move on. So as I told you, at the workstation, workplaces, homes, and schools, campuses. These are the campaigns which has been initiated, and these are the organizations within the FSSI is driving the force. Please move on. So these this slide explains to you what are the initiations and what are the campaigns which are running by the FSSAI, and which we wanted to voluntarily come forward the society to contribute more to ensure the good and right eating habits, right food to the India. Thank you very much. Hope you will go through with all the material and the books which are available in the SNF portal, and download, and then you can make aware India to have a right food, right eating habits. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And it is a very enlightening and very informative session, actually, because we are not aware of all the government initiatives, because we are always busy with the hospital and stuck with all our own hospital programs. But it is really very good for all the students and who are the nutrition upcoming dietitians and all. And thank you so much, sir. And think we have one question has been asked by one of the student dietitian. Any food samples will be sent for lab when a patient complain of severe loose stools on like around 2 to 3 episodes of loose stools after eating hospital food?
Yes. See, as per the sampling and recalling protocol, FSSI says every lot, if your cafeteria is supplying the nutritional or advised food to the patient, has to be taken as a sample, and it should be preserved in the lab which is inside your cafeteria or in the hospitals. If it is not any external body, if it is affiliated, that has to be sent, and it should be kept for 48 hours minimum. So within this, if any patient comes forward and lodge a complaint, so that has to be tested. Traceability, according to the traceability, if it is where it exactly contaminated, if it is happened with the contamination, or if it is happened with the misbehavior, or if it is happened with the FSMS system which is not in place, has to be punishable. And the compensation has to be given to the patient or to the consumer according to the section 4. So these are all there, and it is again a product claim and a recall subject. It's a very huge, and which includes the legalities in it. But every lot in the sense, for example, in a breakfast session, if a 200 patients are inside, and a 100 to 200 gram idli is being served to your patient, means if that is being prepared in lot, like 4 kgs or 2 kgs or 5 kgs of the ingredients, that sample, that mixation has to be kept at least for 48 hours.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And one more question. Any specific recall policy format for the hospital setup? They were asking, sir, and is it
Yes.
available?
The FSSI is coming up with so many protocols and so many, principles. Uh, because food science is from ancient, and the regulator body is just incepted in 2006, as I told you, and which has been enacted in 2011 onwards. Okay, so as of now, there is not that a recalling system is being placed, but when it comes to the manufacturing, not at the hospital level, but at manufacturing level and service level, yes, it is there. So there are few relaxations for the hospital establishments as of now, but probably April 2023 onwards, FSSI is going to come with some mandatory small lab setups in hospitals and inside the cafeteria, which is being placed in the hospitals.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Once
Yeah,
again,
thank
I would
you.
like to thank you on behalf of CAHO and all the dietitian fraternity for enlightening us